clear-sightedness, intelligence, courage, and integrity, generosity, all the qualities could be found in this one person. Asma entered the fold of Islam because of the teachings of her father. When her father and the Prophet took refuge in the cave of Thour to migrate to Al-Madinah, it was she who went into the wilderness to deliver fresh food to them. As soon as they left on their journey, Abu Jahl came to the house of Abu Bakr Siddique, looking for them. He asked her where her father was. She was the lady who so bravely and calmly carried the burden of the Prophet's secret migration. He gave proof of his barbaric nature by slapping her hard so as not to betray them. She faced him with steadfastness, courage, and tolerance. Asma, also known as an-natiqeen in Arabic, it means girdle, worn by women around the waist, is called al-nataq. When the Prophet and Abu Bakr Siddique prepared to set off for Al-Madinah, Asma packed the eatables into a leather bag, but there was no rope with which she could tie up the mouth of the bag. So she divided her girdle into two and used one part to tie up the leather bag. The Prophet blessed her and said that in the place of this one girdle that she sacrificed, she would get two in paradise. After her father and the Prophet left, Asma was left with her blind and aged grandfather, Abu Quhafa. He was worried whether Abu Bakr had left any cash for expenses. Abu Bakr, with strong faith in Allah, had taken his all to spend in the way of Allah and His Messenger. She comforted him, saying there was plenty in the house. To convince him, she collected some pebbles and spread a cloth over them. Then she guided his old hands over the cloth. Abu Quhafa was very pleased that his son had not neglected them. Her husband, Zubair ibn Awam, was a companion of the Prophet. They had a son, Abdullah bin Zubair, who was an eminent companion of the Prophet. When Asma was migrating to Al-Madinah near the valley of Quba, she went into labor and she gave birth to him. This was a special occasion for the Muslims. For a very long time, no sons had been born among the people. The disbelievers used to gossip among themselves that now the Muslims would be rooted out. The Prophet picked up the baby in his arms and congratulated the family. Then he bit off a little piece of a date, softened it in his mouth, and gave it to the baby. This was an honor that made the family feel very proud. Zubair ibn Awam would leave the house and go to the market. He came back much later and she would still be in lost prayer. Asma had a very sharp memory. If she heard anything even once, she would never forget it and has many a hadith attributed to her. Many companions and successors would come to her for guidance and verification of a hadith. Abdullah bin Zubair grew up. He was learning, understanding, and he was courage personified. He did not accept Banu Umayyah as a caliph. When Abdul Malik bin Marwa ascended the throne and took over some of the provinces around Mecca, he sent Hajjaj bin Yusuf as his representative. And an intense battle ensued between the two forces. Abdullah bin Zubair's army was facing defeat. He went to see his mother, asking her if she should surrender. She encouraged him to fight courageously. Abdullah bin Zubair returned to the battlefield and was martyred. This cruel Hajjaj bin Yusuf hung up his body for display and did not take it down even after 3 days. On the third day, the aged mother went to try and recover the body of her valiant and noble son. She had lost her eyesight due to age. Sighing, she asked if the time had not yet come for her son to get down from his horse. She stood by her son against the tyrant Hajjaj with no fear. After a few days, Hajjaj threw the body into the graveyard. When Asma heard this news, she sent for the body, had it be bathed, and had a congregational prayer conducted. Asma bint Abu Bakr died in the year 73rd after Hijrah. She was an incredibly strong and patient woman.